Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I have an update for you on Israel here. Okay, so if you look on your screen, there has been a ruling that has come out in this International Court of Justice. This is on the Israeli genocide case. Okay, if you're not aware of this, just a few weeks ago, South Africa accused Israel of committing genocide in Gaza against the Palestinian people. So obviously, we have, as of today, well over 26,000 people who have been killed, and also, I believe, 60,000 plus people who have been injured. Okay, so a large amount of people have been impacted by this war. Majority of them have been displaced from their homes. So, we have South Africa accusing them, and we just had a ruling today on this case. So we're going to talk about this some more in just a minute, but I have a video that I want to show you. This is a video here from the court, the International Court of Justice, while they were talking about this ruling and deciding where they were going to go with this. If you look here at the top of your screen, if you can read that, it says the International Court of Justice has just ruled that the evidence is sufficient to conclude that at least some of South Africa's claims of genocide against Israel are plausible. So if you don't know what that means, a plausible means like probable, like it could be possible that South Africa's claims of genocide could be true. Okay, so that has not been completely ruled yet. There is some measures that Israel is being ordered to take inside of Gaza. And we'll talk about some more of that in just a minute. But I want you to see this coming from the judge's mouth, what she says in terms of this ruling. So go ahead and take a look.
In the court's view, the aforementioned facts and circumstances are sufficient to conclude that at least some of the rights claimed by South Africa and for which it is seeking protection are plausible. This is the case with respect to the right of Palestinians in Gaza to be protected from acts of genocide and related prohibited acts identified in Article 3, and the right of South Africa to seek Israel's compliance with the latter's obligations under the Convention. In the court's view, the aforementioned facts...
So, yeah, basically there she's just stating exactly what it says there on the top, that South Africa's accusations are plausible. At least some of them are plausible. So, obviously, again, there is no ruling here stating that Israel is actually committing acts of genocide, but they are being asked to prevent any further acts of genocide, I guess, if there hasn't already been some acts of genocide, committed against the people of Gaza, okay, the Palestinians. So I also have a video here that I want you to see. This is from Benjamin Netanyahu.
Israel's committed these atrocities.
Let me pull this up 1 minute. Sorry about that. So this is Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Prime Minister of Israel, and this is basically his response to, what the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, is ruling. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at what he says here.
Israel's commitment to international law is unwavering. Equally unwavering is our sacred commitment to continue to defend our country and defend our people. Like every country, Israel has an inherent right to defend itself. The vile attempt to deny Israel this fundamental right is blatant discrimination against the Jewish state, and it was justly rejected. The charge of genocide leveled against Israel is not only false, it's outrageous, and decent people everywhere should reject it. On the eve of the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, I again pledge as Israel's Prime Minister, never again. Israel will continue to defend itself against Hamas, a genocidal terror organization. On October 7th, Hamas perpetrated the most horrific atrocities against the Jewish people since the Holocaust, and it vows to repeat these atrocities again and again and again. Our war is against Hamas terrorists, not against Palestinian civilians. We will continue to facilitate humanitarian assistance and to do our utmost to keep civilians out of harm's way, even as Hamas uses civilians as human shields. We will continue to do what is necessary to defend our country and defend our people.
Okay, so as you can see there's two sides to every story. One side can accuse him of genocide, and then on the other hand here we've got Benjamin Netanyahu. He's talking about the Hamas terrorists, and he's saying that basically that they need to eliminate them, because if they don't eliminate them they will continue to attack again, just like he states there, right? So obviously this is a war against Hamas. He is trying to eradicate Hamas, but unfortunately, in while they're trying to do this, there's just so much civilian casualties that and civilian harm being done here due to this war. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that Gaza is just such a small piece of land. These people have nowhere to go, and they're just stuck in the crossfire here while Israel's over here dropping these bombs. And then just as he says that um, Hamas is using these Palestinians as human shields. I believe that is true too, especially if they are building these tunnels under schools and hospitals and things like that. So I'm not siding with Benjamin Netanyahu. I actually stand in the middle on this because it's such a controversial subject. Okay, yes, in one hand it could be considered genocide, and then on the other hand, you know, Israel was attacked by Hamas back in October, and whenever they came in, they killed lots of their civilians. So either way, no matter what's happening here, this is really bad. It's a very bad situation, and innocent people don't deserve to die. And that's exactly where I stand on it. I don't think anybody who's innocent should be affected by, you know, what groups decide to do, like organizations, they decide to go attack another country or to attack a military or something like that. Innocent people just don't deserve to die. That's my stand on it. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this ICJ ruling now, the International Court of Justice. So the top UN court orders Israel to prevent genocide in Gaza, but stops short of ordering a ceasefire. Okay, so there is no ceasefire yet, but they are ordering Israel to prevent genocide in Gaza. And we'll talk about what some of these requests are from the court, or the orders, I should say. We'll talk about that as we move along in this article here. The United Nations top court on Friday ordered Israel to do all it can to prevent death, destruction, and any acts of genocide in Gaza. Obviously, acts of genocide can mean a lot of different things, right? But that's what they're stating here. But the panel stopped short of ordering Jerusalem to end the military offensive that has laid waste to the Palestinian enclave. In a ruling that will keep Israel under the legal lens for years to come, the court offered little other comfort to Israel in a genocide case brought by South Africa that goes to the core of one of the world's most intractable conflicts. The court's half dozen orders will be difficult to achieve without some sort of ceasefire or pause in the fighting. So, obviously, like if we're looking at acts of genocide, right, it could mean a lot of different things, and based on what the court rules and then what the laws are in terms of genocide acts and things like that, a lot of things could be considered genocide or not considered genocide. It all depends on what the laws state. But again, it will be difficult for them to achieve that, obviously, if there's no ceasefire or pause. That is going to be very difficult. So I do want to point that out. The court is acutely aware of the extent of the human tragedy that is unfolding in the region and is deeply concerned about the continuing loss of life and human suffering, said Court President Joan E. Donahue. The court ruling amounted to an overwhelming rebuke of Israel's wartime conduct and added to mounting international pressure to halt the nearly 4-month-old offensive, which has killed more than 26,000 Palestinians, decimated vast swaths of Gaza, and driven nearly 85% of its 2.3 million people from their homes. So 85% of the people have been displaced from their homes. Can you believe that? 85% of 2 million. That's insane. So very close to like 2 million people out of the entire population don't even have their homes anymore. Allowing the accusations, excuse me, to stand stung, the government of Israel, which was founded as a Jewish state after the Nazi slaughter of 6 million Jews during World War II. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the fact that the court was willing to discuss the genocide charges was a mark of shame that will not be erased for generations. He also vowed to press ahead with the war. So that is a big statement here. And I do want to point out that just a few days ago, maybe no more than a week ago, we had Netanyahu coming out and saying, no matter what the courts say, whether they, say we're committing genocide, whether they tell us to ceasefire, nobody is going to stop our war in Gaza. That came directly from him. They will continue this war. That's why he's saying right here they vowed to press ahead. They don't care what people say. You know, Netanyahu is on this mission to destroy Hamas. He believes that his country was attacked and he's defending his country. That's his beliefs, okay? And he does not want anyone to stand in the way of that. The court also called on Hamas to release the hostages who are still in captivity. We'll see if that happens. Will Hamas comply with that? Who knows? Haim Abraham, a lecturer in laws at University College of London, noted that the court decision indicated that there is, on the face of things, a risk that genocide might have been conducted by Israel. Interesting. Many of the measures were approved by an overwhelming majority of the judges. Of the 6 orders, an Israeli judge voted in favor of 2: an order of humanitarian aid and another for prevention of an inflammatory speech. Okay, Israeli judge Aron Barak said he voted for those orders in the hope that they would help decrease tensions and discourage damaging rhetoric, while easing the consequences of the armed conflict for the most vulnerable. Such provisional measures issued by the World Court are legally binding, but it is not clear if Israel will comply with them. That's exactly what I just said a moment ago. Will Netanyahu comply with any of these orders at all, or any further orders down the line? Will he do that? We will continue to do what is necessary to defend our country and defend our people, Netanyahu said. Like every country, Israel has a basic right to defend itself. The court ruled that Israel. Oh, here we go. So here's where they talk about some of the rulings and what Israel is ordered to do in terms of this war. So let's look at this. So the court ruled that Israel must do all it can. So all it can to prevent genocide, including refraining from killing Palestinians or causing harm to them. It also ruled that Israel urgently needs to get basic aid and to people in Gaza, and that the country should prevent and punish any incitement to genocide, among other measures. The court also told Israel to submit a report on measures taken within 1 month. That's a time that the court could come back and say, you have not met the orders, you have not complied. Now we find you are in the midst of committing genocide and you must ceasefire, said Mary Ellen O'Connell, a professor of law and international peace studies at Notre Dame University Kroc Institute. Friday's decision was an interim ruling. It could take years for the court to consider all aspects of South Africa's genocide allegations. So as you can see here, what this professor of law said, okay, that's a time that the court could come back and say, you have not met the orders, you have not complied. Now we find you were in the midst of committing genocide and you must cease fire. So yeah, there is no actual ruling right now that says Israel must cease fire in Gaza. They're committing acts of genocide, anything like that. But within a month, they have to come back, and Israel has to come back and submit a report on, stating, hey, yes, we took action to bring aid to the people in Gaza. We have been, decreasing our, collateral damage on innocent bystanders and civilians. These are our numbers. These are how many people are getting killed and not getting killed. So it's decreasing. We're doing a better job. What are we doing? How are we going about it to protect more people instead of just lobbing bombs in there and going after Hamas or whatever? They're going to have to put out a report on that. And if this report shows, to the judges here at the ICJ that they're not complying with these orders, they could immediately say, hey, you know what? You're committing genocide in Gaza and you must cease fire now. And then this is where, this is literally within a month from now, right? And this is to the point where we could see, if Benjamin Netanyahu will actually live up to his word and defy all court orders, as he said, and continue this war in Hamas. And how will that affect, Israel as a country? What, will the UN get involved and send troops over there? What exactly will happen if Netanyahu actually really does defy these rules and these orders? So I thought it was interesting. We'll have to see. We'll really have to see what happens there. I have no idea how that will play out. But yeah, within about a month from now, if Israel does not decrease the amount of collateral damage they're doing to, the people of of Gaza, the Palestinians, right? We could see in a ruling from one of these judges here, or the main judge in this case, stating, "Hey, you're committing genocide and you must cease fire." So this could get crazy down there pretty quick. And even though this actual ruling could, the whole court case could take years and years and years to complete, we could see some sort of like fast paced ruling here in the next 30 to 60 days. So just keep an eye on that. I'll keep you updated when more information comes out. But I wanted to show you here. I got a video. This is a video of some of the destruction down here inside of Gaza. I'm not sure if many of you have really seen much footage of what's going on down here. Most people have no idea how badly Gaza has been destroyed. It has been completely destroyed, guys. It's really bad. And take a look at this and let me know your thoughts down below.
هذا حي الرمال. طبعا أصبحت عبارة عن بيوت تساوت بالأرض. لا يوجد بيت واحد في هذا المكان. لا يوجد بيت واحد في هذا المكان. كما تشاهدون حجم الدمار التي لحق في حي الرمال. أصبحت مدينة أشباح، منطقة بأكملها تفاوت بالأرض. شايفين الأبراج، دول تغيرت ملامح هذه المنطقة.
Okay, so I'm not going to show the whole thing. It's like a little bit over a minute long, but as you can see here in this video, I mean, look at the amount of damage here. Majority of these buildings, at least in this area, are completely destroyed. You can tell that this city here of Gaza is basically it's non-functional now. Like you can't, even if these people come back to these homes, what is there to come back to? Everything here is completely destroyed. It's going to take years upon decades to completely rebuild the Gaza Strip and bring it back to what it once was. Like, it's crazy to think that in a matter of just 3 months, how much damage this war between Israel and Hamas has caused. I mean, these people, look at, they've got nowhere to go. Where, there's no electricity, there's probably no running water, there's no nothing. Where do these people go? And they can't get out. They can't go to Israel. They can't go to Egypt. They're just stuck here in this, what many consider an open air prison, and it's absolutely horrifying. I can't imagine being there and having to deal with this. And what would you do? Especially you got a family and kids. Like the kids are the ones that are really being affected the most here, and it's terrible. Imagine being just a little child and having to go through that and live there. So I've also got some other footage here I want to show you. This is a protest in Khan Yunis. Okay, so Khan Yunis is like the southern portion, or it's a city, I guess I should say, inside of Gaza, or the Gaza Strip, the southern portion of it. And these people are basically protesting. There's lots of kids here too that you'll see in this video when I show you. Just give me 1 second. And they're chanting things like Netanyahu and Sinwar, we want a ceasefire. They're waving white flags, and it's a very different tune of the way these people are protesting from what we saw back in October. So go ahead and take a look at this and the way these people feel about what's going on. And many of these people are just kids, so it's pretty sad to see. So take a look.
لا إله
All right, so they're obviously repeating a lot of the same things. They're just apparently they're chanting, to end this war, call for a ceasefire. These are people inside of Gaza, the southern portion of Gaza, and they're fed up. Imagine 4 months of war, of just complete destruction, losing your homes, having nowhere to go, and they just want to go back to normalcy again. They want peace. They want to be happy. They want their kids to be able to go to school and go to school safely and not have to worry about bombs landing around them and losing family members. Like I can't imagine the amount of horror these people are experiencing, and it's very sad. I always try to show that here on my news, to really show how innocent people are being affected by this. Okay, again, I don't stand for either side really. I'm very much in the middle, but I am for humanity, and I am for you know protecting innocent people and not letting innocent people get affected by atrocities such as what's going on here between this war. So it's horrible what's happening, everybody. But I wanted you to be aware of this and to see what's going on. But that's the latest here that I have on this court ruling. If more information comes out, I will definitely update you. But this is the latest that I have here going on with this Israeli genocide case. Okay, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll update you if anything else comes out. But as of now, we are finished with this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you later. Take care and God bless everyone.